So RCR Wireless News does a weekly show called Coders, where we focus on telco software or mobile software for the development community. And you built this platform that helps VARs increase their sales by aggregating content from their distribution partners. Let's start with your software platform. Can you tell me what software it's been built in?
Sure, yeah. So we actually, in the Business Live platform, the core platform is built on Ruby on Rails. So now that's the kind of key foundation on that, but there are a lot of kind of other technologies for, like, so as you see here, we have to deal with any kind of content. So a lot of the technologies that we leverage from open source for aggregating content and kind of going through like the conversion process, and a lot of the engines that we have behind the scene for ingesting content for multiple sources, as well as basically categorizing them properly. So that's where we actually go into like specifics when we talk about the integration with Watson or Bluemix or Salesforce or others. So we have the web services interface with all the major kind of the sources from the computing perspective, or as well as data sharing perspective.
Why did you pick Ruby on Rails?
Yeah, I think it was early on when the Ruby on Rails was really new, and my background was in the J2E. So I was like the Sun certified J2E architect. So, and we built a lot of great systems, including one of the systems that is still working at Dell for all the third-party distribution. Okay. But I think, and I didn't know anything about Ruby on Rails at that time. But when we were trying to finalize basically what technology would be the future, Ruby on Rails was very new at that time. It wasn't very well proven. Twitter was kind of dying every day. But when we looked at the potential and the community, and then we have a great team, this is their decision to kind of see and see what is the future, and they know a lot more than I know about the technology and their belief into this. So we believed early on that I think for us to be able to innovate faster, being able to test things faster, much more in the mobile, and mobile was not even a critical factor at that time, but it's like the web development faster. Mm-hmm. So it was team's decision to really go and build our expertise and skills in Ruby on Rails, mainly to have the innovation and the speed of innovation much faster. Because it's a continuous innovation. Even now, we have a perfect platform, but we are learning every day. Mm-hmm. And the change that is happening in our industry, I don't see even for next kind of 5 years that whatever platform is today, it will be very different. Even next year, it's just things are changing so rapidly, and Ruby on Rails gives us that advantage.
How about databases?
Yeah, so for the databases, we use MySQL and some of these. Now we are actually now getting into some of these like the Hadoop and some of the like the big data infrastructure, and Watson obviously is a big data infrastructure. Yeah.
Is Watson based on Hadoop or Cassandra, or is it proprietary to IBM?
Yeah, I don't know the exact engine, but I think it's a proprietary technology that's cognitive in nature. That's not like typical search, like Elasticsearch or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. And then when you look at you have a cloud-based platform that ingests data and content from the manufacturers that then can be distributed through the VAR websites. Tell us about your cloud architecture.
Yeah, so the cloud architecture is basically the core pillar of our strategy from the technology perspective was one is the speed and the cloud, and also making these services affordable at the price that our market can afford, right? So the cloud architecture, it's not a SaaS model like Salesforce or a lot of companies, even Marketo. Our delivery model is much more the internet delivery model, and that's where the cloud has been the good enabler. So even though at the lower level it's the MVC architecture, but the way we have kind of designed the top layer on top of a lot of these is keeping that in mind, where it's very flexible to like plug and play with different ecosystem. But the core pattern is basically the MVC architecture, where, yeah.
So if a major distributor wants to buy this product, or a manufacturer wants to buy this product, and we talked about an Austin company, Inxero, that's a customer, either one of those two could buy it and then make it available to their channels. Help me understand that architecture, and how would they buy the product if it's not a cloud service? Is it then purchased and resident on local servers? I'm just trying to understand the model.
Yeah, no, it's still a cloud service, so we host it, so it's our data center, so it's kind of fully secure in it. So all the content, cloud, the DJ model, all that is supported with our cloud architecture and infrastructure. But it gets plugged into wherever they want it to be. So, and we call that the model, we call it a ZAP. It's a extensible application. So that's the architecture. So people won't know basically. So it's really like if you like it's a channel. You just want to turn on different things, and it will natively fit into that experience without knowing where the streaming is happening. And we work behind the scene on that streaming piece of that information.
So let's say I'm a server manufacturer, and I've got 100 pieces of content, video, pictures, and blogs, and I want to move it into this architecture and make it available to a local VAR. How do you ingest that data, and how do you keep it updated?
Yeah, so we have the process for like plugging those sources into that, and so that there is the background process that we set once. So there is the onboarding process with those customers, and once we take, and that's for the enterprise customers.
Right.
So in that process, the onboarding process, that's where we actually set up those links and set up kind of make it ready for that content DJ model. Yeah.
So the manufacturer has a publishing platform, effectively a publishing portal, where they publish the content, and it automatically gets distributed to all their VARs.
That is correct.
Signed up for the.
Who have signed up, yeah. Okay. And we also enable, as part of that, we also enable those the resellers and distributors as part of the process.
Okay. And when you say you enable them, do you? I know you don't create a website for them. What do you create for them, and how do you integrate it into their website?
Yeah, so it's like, so we actually we link it up with our platform. So there is kind of there is a embedding that happens on their website. Then we also link it up basically with their social media, and everything is personalized for that reseller. So we call that the reseller acceleration process, where as part of that we actually work with each of those resellers, and one-time activity where we can turn that activity on.
And if I've got WordPress versus a proprietary system, does it matter what sort of website what sort of language my website is based on?
And it doesn't. We actually pretty much handle most of the scenarios. So whether you are on WordPress or Eloqua, Marketo, or even any kind of third-party hosting site.
Okay.
We pretty much take care of most of those scenarios.
How have you overcome the challenges associated with tablets versus smartphones, where you have varying screen sizes, desktop, tablet, smartphone? How have you overcome the challenges of displaying that content properly on all those platforms?
Yeah, so I think it goes back to the cloud architecture. So we have a lot of emphasis on the presentation layer. So if you look at I was a scientist for Government of India, and where we were working on the database, like data link layer protocol, like the OSI model, if you remember that 70 stack protocol. Yeah. But the focus for this is for our team, we focus a lot more on the presentation layer. And in the MVC pattern, separating out basically the presentation layers. Now, presentation may happen on the mobile, it may happen on web, it may happen on a TV. So it doesn't really matter for us, and that's a responsive kind of layer. And those are the kind of things where Ruby on Rails helps, right, for us, because when we started, mobile wasn't the top priority, right? But now it is. So for our ability to kind of fine tune that very, very quickly, but that is done through that presentation layer.